we're accepting that the job that nobody wants. Nobody wants the job of dealing with the Zionist control over America, right? Okay, and that's the job we want. We want the job nobody else wants. Have we had any experience with it? We've had tons of experience. We've just been playing around. See, you have to explain what we are. Have nobody ever done what we have done so far already? Not even close. For the time, how long do people last? A movement, if it lasts 5 years, it's really clocking good, right? Okay, how long did you last before you infiltrated, ran crazy, dead, or what have you? Okay. We're here after 50 years. We're here in D.C. I came here in D.C. in 89 or something like that. That's 32 years here, something like 30, 33 now. That's a long for the movement, and not sitting in the back seat saying, we want a little bit of this or we want a little bit of that. No, that's with everything that they hate, that's what you do. And nobody has ever even thought of putting out a flyer how to punk the FBI, then re-punk the FBI, right? Y'all ain't nothing but a bunch of punks, right? Okay, it don't sound like much. You're going to get plenty of heat, but guess what? You get so sharp that stuff that get everybody else, it don't get you. I'm not bragging, but I just want to tell you so you understand what we've been doing. One of our friends, the police set him up and they threw some bait out and he bit, and that was it. Okay? I want you to just think about Lebanon last month or 2 months ago. What did the Phalange do? They assassinated members of Hezbollah, right? They killed them. Snipers killed Hezbollah. Hezbollah didn't whoop the Zionists. Hezbollah whoop everybody that they get close to. They just whoop them, right? Okay. What did they do? How did they respond to it? They didn't do nothing because they had good leadership. Why? Because the Phalange was trying to trap them into a fight, right? Like I always told all Negroes here and in Oakland, I said, I don't fight niggas. They too easy to beat. I wouldn't fight a nigga if he, no matter what he do. The proof of it is right here. The proof of it is right here. That was done by a Negro and his old dumb wife. I didn't talk to my friends about it in Oakland because they wouldn't have understood. You let some niggas do that? Where are they at? That's what everybody was asking. You know, Big Hank, where's them niggas at? Who is stupid enough to do that? And I told them, y'all heard the tape. I had to tell my sons and others, mind your own business. Stay out of this. Because you don't know what's going on. That's a setup for us setting them up. That's what it is. And they had the old saying, I'll whip you to your head, rope like oatmeal. Look at the top of my head. It's roped, just like oatmeal. Right? My head is roped. If you ever seen a head roped, you know, that's an old saying from back in the nigga, I'll whip your head till it roped like oatmeal. Look at that's what it means. If you never seen a head whoop, right? And I was a pretty old fellow at that time. But why would nobody understands that? Because the average dumb Negro, when nigga get in his crew, Crips or Bloods, East Side, West Side, whatever, when they get big money, the police send another dumb crew to fight them, and they start fighting. Another dumb country, right? Right? In the news. Another dumb country. Your movement is moving ahead another dumb movement, right? So if you're going somewhere, that's what 50 and 60 years of experience do. It teach you how to, you know. So that's what I'm talking about. We have the experience to do what we do right now. And as far as all this stuff around here, within a year or two, it'll all be remodeled, updated, and Islamic Institute over here, this going on there. It'll all be, why? Because you're alive. And remember, longevity. Remember what Martin Luther King said, longevity has its place, but he knew he was getting ready to go. And we always talk about protracted struggle, long-range struggle, right? Long-range struggle, that's why you have to have a long vision. Because what is they plan for you, right? What is the system's plan for you? Well, they play it out. I'm being arrested in the Masjid in Oakland. You in the bath, police, da, 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 da. And here's Mukhtar right here. This dummy he's so dumb that it's not his life is in danger. But if you done been in the town, you done bought everybody Cadillacs and houses and everything. Because remember, Black Economic Enterprise Zone for people in their early 20s. Because see, I was 26 when I left the country. So everything, all that, what the Negro thought was big, happened then, before, right? So that means that it was the pre-25, you just doing all that stuff. But see, that was, East Oakland Enterprises was exactly what Martin Luther King was talking about. But nobody had never seen it. They didn't understand it till, they looked up and they say, all the niggas having money around here is young. And the old gangsters, the ones older than me, they were poor. We felt sorry for them. You know why? Because they was pimping and it was pitiful because all they women was prostitutes and the poor children would come to see us because we had the cocaine. So, man, I've been pimping hoes, slamming Cadillac doors. And here it is, the women come visit us first because he got to be there watching 24 hours a day or having whole watches or he ain't going to get no money because she bringing it, right, to the coke man, right? That's just the way it is. That's the rule. It ain't no, right? So they was pimping. And I used to tell my friends, I said, man, y'all, one thing about it, all those Negroes, when I would be with them and we'd be up at night, I looked at all of them and they didn't know what I was thinking. I was saying in my mind, if they was in a different environment, right, a different time, they would be captains of industry. That's what terminology I was. Captains of industry. Them niggas were so sharp and so committed. You know what I mean? But they wasn't elastic. They get knocked down once, they bounce back. They get knocked down twice, they bounce back. After a while, like the rubber loses its elasticity, and when you see a Negro at 30 and 40 years old, he's already done. You see what I mean? But actually, we're 76 now, be 77 in a minute. We're just getting started. Why? Because we know if you're going to run a marathon, you take a few days rest after the marathon. You don't get in there and you run for the rest of your life till you collapse, right? You train. What I'm saying is, y'all have been watching this. We have been living through a period of this period last 10 years has been R&R, rest and recuperation. It's not rest that you're not doing stuff, but if you notice any property we had, we didn't jump off a building to make sure it's proper. If a car stopped that we just bought is running real nice, we just pulled it over and left it, right? Simple as that. That's so you keep focused. These same Negroes here, there's a police, you know, these is Latino police and white police. The black police in Oakland, last time I saw one of them, he was I tell you, it was a Geronimo Pratt's a thing for him. He had been killed. He died in Africa at one of my friends' joint. Anyway, so one of the undercover agents I've been knowing a long time, you know, we were speaking on the platform, and he said, he come up to me and said, yeah, man, we're proud of you. That means the undercover police, because they, in their life, this is not the first time they did it. Almost all of them do it. They're saying that to me because they used to seeing Negroes that do Negro stuff. And they don't have no community-based attitude at all, right? So when they see somebody that have, one of the people that used to be real close to us, last time I was there, he said, yeah, man. He said, and actually the whole crowd, you know, that's the attitude. But here's the point. You got to keep focused on what you're doing. Where are you going? What are you trying to do, right? Somebody know what's going on, because remember this whole thing? Revolution from Egypt to the Americas, this is over 10 years old, 11 or 12 years old now, right? They got Imam Jamil up there. They got Imam Lukman right here that they killed in Detroit. And then they got me. So what does that mean? We say it all the time. Nigga, we got this friend of yours, we got him, and if you keep on talking, we're going to get you. We told them the same thing. You can see when we go talking to the police, you kiss my behind. Who you talking to, sucker? You don't run nothing. You know, a lot of people think, well, it's not only the police, it's the sheriff, it's the FBI, it's all of them. When the FBI come by here, they didn't come here like, we going to do this or we going to do that. Mr. So-and-so, da-da-da-da-da. And Islamic movement in Turkey. I'm going to just stop showing these pictures, but I just want to show you this stuff. There's poor Imam Lukman right there. This brother they set up. Now, if you come on the main stuff, this is from Tehran. This looks like Arabic, but it's Farsi. And it says, Walayati Faqih is a protection for the global ummah. This is a little hand, this is a magazine. It don't look like it, but this was a magazine, came out in South Africa the last trip. You'd think I was running for president. They had the posters so big everywhere I went. They made a whole magazine. This is all the trips everywhere, all the talks, everything. All right. That was the last try of the community there to get me to accept what they was putting down here. I said, I ain't taking that. I don't. You remember the thing in South Africa when Dr. Kaleem Siddiqui was saying, this guy here is all right. That's what he was saying about me. They didn't follow that. When he said that, that put a target on my back. So everybody didn't fall in line to help finish up what Dr. Kaleem Siddiqui was doing. They jumped in line to try to stop it. You know, I'm not going to show the Rahbar. Okay. Our first program we're going to have after Ramadan will be related to Imam Jamil Alameen. We apologize to him and his family for not doing much. Of course, we'd raised a few $100,000, back then. Everybody know it. Yeah. Poor son. They don't listen. This is why you got a Playboy bunny on this thing right here. You know, this is a nice guy, but I just happened to show this. So on his license plate, years ago, he had one of them, you know, where they have a message on it. It said, the one that dies with the most toys wins. When I saw that on his little mob car, I said, nigga, you are crazy. You absolutely, something is wrong with you. And they don't think that well. I just want to change the subject for a minute. He was up on the porch with one of his crews. They was all laughing and talking and everything. Then one of his partners from another crew